Hi guys, welcome to Healthier in Christ. My name is Irene. How are you guys doing? I hope you are well wherever you are, and I hope you're keeping safe wherever you are. So guys, welcome. I hope that you are going to be blessed. In fact, you are going to be blessed, okay? By the time you finish watching this video, you are going to be blessed. So, my singles, the people that are waiting, ladies in waiting, gentlemen in waiting, those who are praying for marriage, those who are believing God for marriage, how are you doing? I welcome you, because in this season I am for you, with you, on you. We are on this. We are in this together, okay? We are in this journey together. And I hope that you'll be blessed. You will be blessed with this word, okay? You'll be blessed with this by the end of this video. Okay, I hope you'll be blessed. So, our topic today is surrendering to God. Yes, surrendering your searching to God. Give it up. Say, God, take the wheel. Take the wheel, God. Because you have tried, girl. You have tried, brother. And you have not been successful. Okay. So, I think it's time that you give the honor, the wheel. Say, God, drive this one. Yeah, drive this one. And you know, guys, when I come here and I talk to you about something, it is something that I'm going through, something that God is teaching me about, something that I'm learning, or something that I'm inspired to talk about. Not necessarily what I'm going through, but what I'm inspired to talk about. Okay, it's a mixture of different things. So in this season, for me, is the season of really surrendering to God, like trusting and surrendering to God. And I find myself that when I surrender to God, or when I reach a point where I surrender to God, is when I have tried my best. I don't always start by surrendering to God. I should, but I don't. But I'm learning. Okay. It's when I try to try to take the wheel, and drive the car, and then I just take the wrong exits, get tired, worn out, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I believe in God who's supernatural. I believe in God who can do all things. So why can't I give him? He says, cast your burdens unto me. That's when my eyes open. That's when I then act. Okay. But blessed are those who absolutely have that understanding, who from the beginning, they literally surrender to God. They surrender everything to God. And not by their heart, not by their mouth, but actively, consciously, deliberately surrender it to God. Okay? There's a difference between you believing, you speaking, and you actually do it. Walk the walk. Yeah? So, when I was meditating upon this, wanting to come here and talk to you guys about this situation, the best example I can give, the best thing that came to my mind is when I'm handing over my patients to the coming team. Yeah. So I'm a nurse. Yeah. By profession, and there come a time whereby when my shift finishes, yeah, I have to hand over to the coming team what I have done, so that they know where to start from. Yeah. And sometimes, yeah, for example, let me say I've done a night shift. You find that one of your shifts, or on a shift, you have a critical patient. Yeah. It could be just one critical patient that will keep you very, very busy. And with that critical patient, you need to work collaboratively. I think that's the word. Collaboratively with other medical teams, yeah, so that you can give the best treatment. So you may need the doctors, you may need the specialist team, you may need different people to come in and give their best for the patient to get better. So when I'm handing over to the nurse, I then have to tell the nurse what happened. I have to tell the nurse who I've contacted, who came to review the patient, what they've suggested, and what I have done, and what needs to be done urgently, right? Because I cannot continue to look after the patient because my shift is ending and I am also tired. It's not safe for me. It's not safe for the patient for me to work under, exhaustion, when I'm tired, right? I have to get to a point where I have to give up to God. I have to get to a point where I have to hand over in order for the patient to keep on receiving good treatment. Okay? Because I won't be good doing it tired. That is the same thing we're going to do. It's almost like a practice, actually. Yes, you're going to do it with me. It's not good for you to continue trying, doing the searching when you're tired, when you're exhausted. It has to come a time where you hand over to God. Yeah, it has to come. Yeah, it has to be a time where you hand over to God and say, God, this is what I've done. Okay, so for me, I've handed over to God and I said, God, this is what I've done. Okay, I have been active, but my activeness has not been enough. Okay, my intervention in this situation has not been enough, has not produced the results that I want. So I'll be like, God, I have gone online dating. Okay, I have tried online dating, God. I've spent money on it. Zero. We have not been effective. Okay, nothing. I've listened to people's advice. I've worked with people. I've worked with the community collaboratively. Some people say, Irene, you cannot find a man in your house. You need to go out and look for one. No man will come and knock on your door. You need to go out and find. God, I have tried my best. God, I'm an introvert. I don't like to be outside, but I've tried. Nothing. Some people say you need to change the way you think, you need to change the way you speak, you need to invite, you need to have the right energy. They have tried to make me practice the law of attraction, which is not a Christian anyway, by the way, because the law of attraction is about you. There's no Jesus Christ, there's no God in the law of attraction. There's the universe. You need to invite the universe. You need to have that right energy, and the universe will put you with your person. God, I almost tried to practice a religion that is not mine for the search, but that has not worked. So God, here we are. I'm handing it over to you. I'm exhausted. I'm no longer productive because I'm exhausted. I'm now casting my burdens unto you, God. I am believing that you, God, take over. You understand that? Are you hearing me? Yes. You have to hand over. You have tried. People have given you so many advice. That some of them, they're actually irritating because they'll come and give you advice as if you have not tried these things. You are in it. You have been in it, so you have tried it. But you really have done your best. So now give it to God. Because you know what? Yeah, let me tell you something. Now we're getting to the word. God knows the best for you. God is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. God is the one that created you. God knows your personality so well. He knows you more than you know yourself. God knows who you're going to be tomorrow, next year, the following year. You don't know that. Because you see, our identity sometimes is inspired by our environment. It's inspired by the present. It's inspired by now. What you want is inspired by your community, your surrounding. Your environment makes you. So you can change your environment. Next day you may say, you know what, I want to move. I want to go to another country. I want to go to this. I want to move. You can change that, and that environment then it makes you another person. Then it creates your desires. God knows that. Okay? So he knows the best person for you. Guys, I have understood it. I've recently totally understood it. That God actually knows me and he knows the best. Sometimes, people will say to you, you need to go out and meet people, right? Which I absolutely agree with. You need to position yourself, right, to meet people, which I absolutely agree with, because the Bible also talks about, it's positioning. You need to take part in it. Don't be like that man who was disabled, who was at the well and was waiting for someone to push him into the well, so that he can get better. Yes, you can be active, but if God orchestrates the whole situation, how and when you're gonna meet your person, he will do it. You may be an introvert. You may be somebody who stays in their house all the time. When God's time comes, you will just be inspired to be like, oh, I need to go and buy milk. Oh, I don't really want to go and buy milk, but I need the milk. I don't want to buy it. I need the milk. Then you just push yourself and go out and go to the corner shop, and then boom, you will meet your person there. Because God is able, guys. God, he moves supernaturally. God does not like to show his glory, to share his glory with anybody. And when he moves, he wants you and your neighbor to know that he is moving. So, as much as, yes, we need to actively do these things, and we need to, when God's time comes, he will make you do things. God will not let you miss your person because you are an introvert, you don't want to go out. He will make you go out. He will make you, even if God says, okay, you're going to miss somebody, that person may be the postman. You never know. Like literally. He may be the person who's delivering your posts. And God knows that you and this person works together, you're going to build an empire. Maybe that person just needs someone to just gung, 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 which is you. You make him see, inspire, and both of you can build a great future. All I'm saying is this. Don't underestimate the power of God. Don't underestimate God's ability. Sometimes God makes you get to that point where you surrender to God. He leaves you to do your thing, which I think God really does, to do your thing, and then he then comes in and take over. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. This could be a part 2, or I might just continue with the video. It depends. I'll see how long this video is. So I'm going to tell you a story where God literally wrote the story, literally directed somebody, and the person didn't even know about it. I'm going to tell you the story of King Saul, how God led Saul to kingship, right? How God led Saul to kingship. So we're talking about God being able to take the wheel and drive you to where you're supposed to be without you even putting your effort in it. Singles, before I go to the story, singles, I know it can be difficult. I know it can be scary. But if you say you're a believer, if you say you believe in Jesus Christ, you actively believe in Jesus Christ, you believe in God, try him. Try. Test and see. I am testing God. And I believe that I'm going to see the goodness of God in the land of the living. Say, God, I'm surrendering to you. Write down what you want. Because God motivates that. Write down what you want. Write it down what you want. And give it to God. And your position is to pray. That's it. Your position is to pray every night. That God, I'm going to see your goodness in the land of the living. I know that you're going to give me my perfect person. That even that person's imperfection is going to be made perfect in your eyes. I believe that you are going to do it for me. I believe that you are going to direct my steps. I'm emphasizing on this because, again, I might feel like I'm repeating myself. I know that people will always say, you need to do this, you need to do that, and do this, and do that, and do this, and do that. And that is okay. That is okay. Like, I'm not dismissing that at all. But I'm saying, when God intervenes, right, He can even empower your friend to tell you that, you know what, register online. Yeah, God can do that. I mean, register online, register on this page. I heard that, it's really good. And you register and you find your person. You can find your person online dating. You can find your person. What I'm trying to say, that God can direct you He can direct you anywhere that He wants you to be. You can even, like, some people don't believe in online dating, but when God says you are going to meet your person online, He will empower you. Either you like or not, He will empower you, and before you know it, you have registered. Before you know it, you even pay. Before you know it, voila, you have met your person. God can just do everything. He can just do it. So you need to pray for God, take over and walk with me. Hold my hand. Drive. Let me sit at the passenger seat. I don't want to drive anymore. I have tried and I've got lost. You take over, God. Okay? So now I'm going to tell you the story of a man that was directed by God, of the King Saul. So this story is found in the book of Samuel, right? Samuel was a priest at this time, okay, and the children of Israel did not have a king, okay. A priest was at the same level as a king, right? They were being led by a priest, and at this time was Samuel. So Samuel was very, very old, and his children, he had children that were gonna take over. They were misbehaving. So the children of Israel started to complain and saying that we want a king. We don't want a priest anymore. We want a king. So Samuel reported this to God, and God said to Samuel, I'm going to give them a king. As they don't want me to lead them, I'm going to give them a king. Right? And then we leave that. And then there's another family. The same story, right? The Bible takes us to another family. The family of Benjamin, right? Who was the last born of the tribe of Israel. Yeah? Out of the 12, Benjamin was the last born. So this man was from the tribe of Benjamin. He lost his donkeys. Yeah, he could not find his donkeys. And he sent his son Saul to look for the donkeys. And he sent Saul with a servant. Yeah, so there are two of them, Saul and a servant. That's a very important part. So he sent them to go and look for the donkeys. And they went to look for the donkeys. They spent about 3 days in the forest looking for the donkeys, and they could not find them. So Saul said to the servant, look, we can't find the donkeys. Let us go home. Right? And then the servant said to Saul, I've heard of a prophet. Yeah? Why can't we go and seek consult from that prophet? Maybe he will help us to locate the donkeys. So Saul said to the servant, no, we need to go home, because our father will stop to be anxious about the donkeys and will start to get anxious about us. Okay, our father will start getting worried about us that we're not home yet. So let us go home. And he said, even if we go and see the prophet, we don't have anything to give to the prophet of God. So we need to go home. And then the servant said, oh, look, I've got some coins with me. I've got some money with me. Why can't we take this money and give it to the prophet when we see the prophet? So Saul was definitely, he did not want to go. He really wanted to go home because he he recognized that they have been looking for these donkeys for some days now, and their father was going to get worried. So he needed to go home. But the servant kept, persuading Saul to go and see the prophet. So Saul end up agreeing to go and see this prophet. They didn't even know who the prophet was. So on their way going to find the prophet, they saw these young ladies who were going to the well to fetch some water. They asked the ladies, "Do you know of a prophet around here?" And they said, "Oh yes, you're so lucky. The prophet is just ahead of you. If you run or if you walk very fast, you will catch him." Yeah? Let's pause. Okay. Let's go back to Samuel. When God told Samuel that he was going to give them a king, he told Samuel that by tomorrow a man will come to you and he will be the king. And also Samuel had traveled to this place for an event. They were having like a festival or celebration, something like that. So he was there. That's not his town. He had traveled. Yeah. So that tomorrow that God has said, this is where the event was taking place. So Samuel then, Saul, after Saul heard from the young ladies that the prophet that you're looking for is ahead of you, they walk very fast. Yeah, they walked fast, and then they met someone. Yeah, they met a man among the crowd. So there's a big crowd. So they met this man, and they said, they greeted the man and said, "Oh, do you know of a prophet? We are looking for a prophet." And this man was Samuel. Yeah, they didn't know that it was Samuel. This man was Samuel. And the Samuel was like, "I am the prophet." And straight away God spoke to Samuel that this is the man that I told you about. So Samuel then told Saul that, "Okay, I am the prophet, but you come here." Yeah. So he took Saul and the servant to the high table. And when they seated, Samuel told the chef that, that meat that you reserved for the priest, bring it. So the chef went and brought the meat, the food, and Samuel gave it to Saul. And he said, the donkeys that you're looking for, they've been found. Is not everything yours? So this is how Saul got anointed by Samuel. What am I saying? Is this: do not underestimate God's power. You are not losing. It's scary. Sometimes you feel like, things are not moving, or you might feel like, like God helps those who help themselves. But surrendering to God is not easy. Surrendering to God, that's actually actively working. Surrendering to God, it requires faith. And for you to have, we all have faith, but our faith is increased by our actions, right? Our ability to seek God. So when you surrender to God and say, "God, I know you can make things happen. I know that what makes you God is because you move supernaturally. You don't do things naturally." And if you were able to direct Saul, who didn't even know, Saul did not even know that he was going to be anointed. But God ordered the steps. God made everything. The donkeys did not get lost by mistake. That was not coincidence. God put it in place that the father will lose the donkeys, and God made sure that the father will send Saul with a servant, and God made sure that the servant will have coins in his pocket, and he will convince Saul to go and look for a prophet, and the prophet will be Samuel. God already prophesied this to Samuel prior and said, "I'm going to give them a king." And God already demonstrated and read what this king will be like But that's a story for another day. So I'm here to tell you, I'm sent to you to say, try God, try him, test him and see. Yes, you hear this advice. Yes, you're being active looking, but today I'm saying, God, let your will be done. Let your will be done. You know the desires of my heart. And you prompt us to desire and request these things that we desire. But above all, I want your will to be done. I want your will to be done because I have seen you. I have read about you. I know you can do it. I know you can change things. You can make nothing to something. Singles, be encouraged. Keep on holding on. And I know that you and I will see God in the land of the living. We definitely do. You stay blessed. Love you. Bye-bye.